Are you baffled by antenna connectors? Not sure how to make your BNC antenna fit on your favorite handheld? Or maybe your favorite handheld's antenna, you'd like to get on a Chinese radio and those antenna connectors just don't line up? Well, I'm going to explain all of this confusing topic for you right now. All right, here is the secret that will make all of this so much easier to understand, and you will be so much better off in talking about adapters. I want you to look at this antenna connector, and let's dive in on this a little bit so you can see exactly what's going on. So what do we see on the top of this antenna? Do we see a pin or do we see a hole? And the answer is there's a tiny pin right in the middle. That means that the gender of this antenna connection is male. The center pin is what denotes the gender of the antenna connection. So if I take a Japanese radio and I put it side by side, we see a difference. There's a pin, meaning there's an extrusion, and then on the Japanese radio, there is a socket. There's a hole that receives the pin. That means this is SMA female. Once you understand that concept, all of this becomes very, very easy. So if I wanted to use a BNC connection on my Japanese radio, all I would need to do is get an SMA male to BNC, and yep, it works both ways. So there's the BNC connection is a little pin, so I need a BNC female. All right, well, what does that look like? Well, this is an SMA male to BNC female. Ah, bingo, we got it. So let's throw this on there. And let's try our BNC connection. So now we have a BNC female. This is a BNC male antenna. And there you go. We now have a positive antenna connection. This is likely going to be the most common thing you do. If you get a BNC connection, it will be a BNC female adapter. BNC female adapter is what you're looking for to match the BNC male antenna. Well, okay, so let's talk about our Chinese radio. For my Chinese radio, I know that I need an SMA female connection, denoted by the socket, into a BNC female on top. So now I have BNC female. And so now I should be able to connect it, and there we go. So let's take a look at some of these connectors, and I think it will make a little bit more sense. So the most common types of these adapters you're going to get is going to be BNC female on top, and then it's either going to be male or female, and that'll depend on the radio. So remember, you have to adapt whichever radio you're using. You're going to adapt that gendered pin to the appropriate adapter and then match it to the antenna. Anything is possible in this case. So if I had an SMA male, I could have it go to an SMA male. Well, why would I want to do that? Well, what if I had Japanese male adapter with an SMA male on the other end? Why would I need that? Well, maybe I had a Chinese antenna that I wanted to connect to it, and there you go. Now, it does make this a little funky looking, I agree, but that works. And so that would be the adapter set to go from a Japanese radio to a Chinese antenna on the other side. And it works the other way too. So the reverse case is, let's find our Chinese radio, which is going to be SMA male, and we're going to put it SMA female on there, on top. And then now I have SMA female on the top of that so that I can attach an SMA male antenna like this Intellatron. That is a smart looking setup, actually. That adapter sinks down pretty low, and it looks like it's almost meant to be there. It's pretty easy, pretty simple. So going with the same concept of, does your antenna connection have a pin or a socket or a female adapter? These larger ones, well, what's going on with this larger one? Well, this larger one has a pin, so this means it's male, and then has BNC female on the other end. This is going to be what you would use for a mobile radio of some kind. Or, so I can take this SO239 connection on this antenna analyzer, and I can take my PL259, which is the plug end, PL versus SO for socket, SO versus PL, and I can now attach them. Now, what would I use this for? Well, this would go to like BNC coax. So if I had a piece of BNC coax lying around, I could connect it and I could do an analyzer test against my antenna that I have out in the field. Now, one that you probably will see a lot more of if you get into HF amateur radio is the SO239 plug to BNC male. And the reason for this is quite simple. If we have a regular piece of PL259 coax with the plug, I want to adapt it to be able to communicate with an HF amateur radio. So I will lock down my adapter here, and then I will take my HF radio, and that could be like a QRP radio. In fact, this is the one I gave away. I'm going to be shipping this off soon. But now I've taken a traditional piece of coax, I put an adapter in it to go to BNC, and now I can use it on my QRP radio. Now, there is a note we need to make about anodization. And so an anodized piece of equipment, you can almost look at it as like a patina. Rust is a word people use, but I don't think that's accurate. But this patina is like a scab, if you will, and it's covering over the top of the metal. And so it reduces conductivity in some spaces, particularly in threaded areas, right? So if you were going to use this on a mobile antenna, for instance, oh yeah, good fit. What I recommend you do is you take a bit of sandpaper and just go around the threads a little bit. And on the inside too, I just roll it like a barrel and then go in there. I've already done this one. And you can do that as well on the outside, but the big thing you got to do on the inside of BNCs is just give it a little bit of sandpaper on the edges so that the teeth, they're kind of like little teeth on the inside of the connector, will kind of be able to make a positive electric connection, right? And the more you use these of docking them and undocking them will begin to wear some of that anodization off of the working parts that need to make connection. And you can just kind of go back and forth in like that, and it'll work itself out over time. Actually, that works out pretty well. Anyway, what this looks like, let me show you with a multimeter. So this one actually shows it, which is good, but a lot of them won't. So let me do this one here. Yeah, see how it drops out? So you got to keep that in mind. You may have to work the connector, turn it on and off onto something, right, multiple times to kind of break some of that anodization off so you can get a clean connection. Because if you don't do it, what happens is your things like an analyzer, and this is most affected on an antenna analyzer if you're going to use this BNC connector on like an HF radio, or you're going to use this on even a mobile radio. You want to make sure you do this. So let's see, go back out of here. And yeah, that's what my antenna should look like, my 20-meter antenna. But before that, it was like just a kind of a lazy line that went down because it was making a poor electrical connection. So keep that in mind. So then you can get some oddball ones that go like reverse action, where you have a BNC male connection with an SMA male. Well, what would that be for? Well, older radios had BNC connections, and so you could BNC on top of that, and then you could take your Chinese handheld antenna, and now you have an adapter for that. So almost everything's possible. There are every variety of adapters exist in the world, basically, that will allow you to be able to make a positive antenna connection. So that's why we use adapters, is it allows us to basically connect anything we want on the radio. Now, many times people have asked, do these add some kind of a loss? They probably add a amount of insertion loss, but generally not enough that we could actually measure with very high quality equipment. So I generally tell people, don't worry about it. It's not a problem. You don't have to care that much about it. Adapters are useful and valuable across the board for almost any amateur radio endeavor. And it takes your one radio and doesn't mean that you have to go upgrade to different antennas just because you go with an SMA female over a male, and vice versa. It allows you to standardize to, say, BNC. So in this case, here's our BNC connection. I'm going to slide this in here. And then we can go back to our signal stick pretty easily. But then you're probably asking, like, well, what's this little tab about here? Well, the tab actually is a fun little thing that the folks at Signal Stick have done. They've added this kind of tiger tail / rat tail design with a cool little pronged connector. So if I take this wire, which has a spade connector on it. That spade connector, hopefully I can zoom in on this. It's going to be a little hard to see, but there's a small little friction push button and a little tab on the inside. So if I take this and I slide it onto the antenna connection, it actually makes a good positive connection on that little tab and won't come off. And then now you have a tiger tail. If you want to do that, that is available as well. All of these things exist on the Signal Stuff website. And if you squeeze real hard, you'll get it to come off. But it makes a real good connection. I found actually if you slide the heat shrink off a little bit, it's a bit easier. But for strain relief purposes, you want to make sure you slide that heat shrink back on. It keeps this connection a little bit more stable. So if you're following along at home, the key piece of information is figure out the gender of the antenna connection on your radio, and then figure out what the gender connection is on your antenna, right? And then determine the type of connector. So this is an SMA connection. You can see that's usually denoted by a threaded connector on the outside or the inside of the antenna connection. And a BNC, which stands for bayonet connector, is going to have lugs that rotate and twist lock into place. So if you find the slot, it slides in, and then you rotate it, and now it's locked in place. It won't come out. And if you want to undo it, you do it that way, right? So find the one that matches what antenna you're using to what the feed point is of the radio. If there's a hole in the middle, it's female. If there's a pin that's sticking out, it's male. That's the way to remember it. And then you just need to remember the antenna type. So BNC, the exterior threads denote SMA. And then, of course, if it's a big honking guy like this, then it's a PL259 or SO239. And yes, they're slightly different. Sometimes if this is difficult, you can just take a picture of this like on your phone and just annotate what the connection type is. And there's all kinds of images online as well. But you can do that with your radio, so you can say, oh, this is SMA male and this is SMA female. And that's all you have to do. And you should be good to go. If you were confused how I went with where this little tiny SMA signal stick came from, this is a 70 centimeter only signal stick. I got this at Hamvention a year or two back. And yeah, it's the same great signal stick quality, but for something like a DMR radio, it works out pretty well. And yes, this is SMA male. So what does it work on? It works on Japanese radios, which is SMA female. And yeah, I think that makes a smart little combination, don't you think? Yeah. All the antenna adapters used on this video were sent to me by Signal Stuff. I have a long time been an advocate of not just their antennas, but also these adapters as well. These are incredibly high quality adapters. Now, you can get peace of mind if you buy a Signal Stick, not just the fact that you're getting a good antenna, but some of the proceeds from Signal Stick go to support things like exam tools and hamstudy.org. They are operated by the same group of people. So just keep in mind, every time you buy something for yourself in the form of a new antenna, you're also helping to support amateur radio's growth for future generations. So big shout out. I will have links in the video description to Signal Stuff and the Signal Stick antennas and the great adapters, including the one that has the little tiger tail on the end. I will be doing a video on this. In fact, I already shot some of the video, but we had a bit of a kerfuffle at the park that I normally do my recordings at. Someone literally destroyed the picnic table. And since that's the same location that I like to operate from for my antenna tests, I've had a bit of a problem getting the space and bringing a table and chairs and all that stuff. It's turned into quite a hassle. Anyway, look forward to that. Thanks again to Signal Stuff, Signal Stick, Exam Tools, and hamstudy.org for helping make this video possible. Post your thoughts in the comments below, and I will talk to you later. 73.